Hi everyone, welcome to the Sisterknit podcast. My name is Rebekah.
And I'm Elisa.
And we're two sisters who love to knit. This week on our podcast, we have a lot to catch you up on because we've kind of been behind. And
it's been like 3 months since we recorded.
Yes, but sometimes people don't realize that because we end up not posting the video for a month or so. Yeah. Anyways, we kind of dig ourselves in a hole. But
we do.
I'm glad you guys still enjoy watching these regardless of when they get posted.
It's true.
So I have 3 finished objects.
Same here.
And 3 whips.
I also have 3 whips.
Good.
We'll try to not talk about them all for 8 minutes.
Yes. So we'll start with
what we're wearing.
Our objects we're wearing. I am wearing the Aurora Camisole by Sari Nordlund. I finished it just in time to wear it once before the summer ended. But as you can see, it kind of goes well with an overshirt. I really liked this pattern. It's in her Summer Knits pattern book. How it goes is you make these 3 triangles of lace work and then you put them all together and knit around to the end. And then add the I-cord straps. So it's nice that it's reversible. You don't really have to think when you're putting it on. And
that is nice. Because I never know. I don't put tags in my knits because I don't like tags on my shirts anyways.
Yeah, most of my knits is like, I have the loose thread on the left side. That's how I tell.
Or if it had short rows, then you can kind of hold it up and be like, okay,
that's true.
That looks like a back. But if there's no short rows, you're just kind of guessing.
Yeah, so that's kind of nice. And I'm realizing with her patterns, I just love how she has a chart for everything. To reference that you're at the right spot. It was a great book. We've done like 4 patterns now from that book. I use the yarn Willet by Quince & Co. in the color Whey. This kind of color became my favorite color this year. So yeah, it's a linen cotton that I threw it in the wash and it turned out okay. So not much else to say about that. Oh, I made it in the size 2. Yeah.
Nice. I'm wearing the Tessellated Vest by Andrea Mowry. Rebekah also has one, just not finished. We were doing these as a part of the Oktoberfest knit along, and I started knitting it, and then I kind of lost motivation, and then I was like, wait.
Kind of.
I severely lost motivation, and then I realized it's almost the end of the knit along. I have to finish this. And so I finished it like a day after the knit along was done, and I was like, it's okay, it's all right, it's good enough, right?
That's better than me.
It's true. I finished it. I was like, I just want to get it done. I just want to be able to wear it. I was a little bit worried about like the size and things, so I just want to have it like blocked and wear it and have it nice. So I'll start with the yarns. We both used the same yarns for ours, but different colors. So it's Quince & Co. Chickadee, which is a sport weight 100% wool. And then that is like the brown all around. Then the color changing yarn is a Spincycle dyed in the wool. I use the color Summer Love. And then the fluffy one is Fiber MacGyver's Suri silk lace. I think that's what it's called. And I use the color Celery. So I kind of love how it turned out. I was nervous throughout the process. I was like, okay, trust the process. But I think it turned out okay. Like, despite all of my doubts, I was really nervous about the sizing. We're kind of playing it close with Yarn Chicken, or at least I thought I was, and my gauge wasn't off, so I had sized up a needle and things. I'm like, I really don't know. And size 2 was kind of like the cusp. Like, if we had bought another skein of yarn, I would have knit a size 3 to have.
Well, and the other fact is you knit it bottom up.
Which also
is
why?
Well, we hated the experience. But
I loved the pattern.
Then it's like you can't adjust the size because you're like, I don't know how much yarn I'm going to need.
Right. I have no idea why it's bottom up. It really could be top down. Like, it doesn't. I mean, part of it is I think maybe you get established in like the mosaic knitting from the bottom up, and then you're more confident in the mosaic knitting when you have to like knit it flat and do the shaping. Like, that's my only potential explanation. But I still think I'm like, it could have been knit top down.
Yeah.
And because I ended up with like 16 grams left over of the
So why is that color called Summer Love when it's like so fall?
I don't know. Well, I think it would maybe look more summery if I paired it with more summery colors.
Oh, yeah, I suppose. It's like browns and greens.
Yeah. Well, there was this other blue patch. I'm so mad. There is a pretty spot of blue in the yarn that's left over. I was like, I love that. Like, I would have taken that over this brown in the middle, you know? So just like the color pooling, I can't, you know, I'm not in control of that.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to like, I don't know, pull the yarn out or like cut it a bunch of times to try and get all the right color pooling. So anyways, at the end of the day, I'm happy with how it looks. I think it was fun to try mosaic knitting. I think my tension with mosaic knitting is substantially better than it is with stranded color work. Like, I'm really tight on stranded color work, and this felt better. I did also lengthen the ribbing on all of these. I didn't really like how it was only like ½ an inch of ribbing. And I was like, I just like a thicker cuff, so.
Yeah, especially with the bottom being that thick.
The bottom was like 4 inches or something. Wait, that's not 4 inches. 4 centimeters? I don't even know. I can't estimate.
1.5 inches.
Yeah.
I feel like I should just show mine because while we're talking about the pattern.
Might as well.
This is really hard to show because, with the 3 balls of yarn, and I've split it to the different 2, so bear with me.
I feel like I should preface, the pattern was written very well. It was easy to follow. I think it's a fun concept to do this mosaic knitting with 3 different colors. Like, I loved that. I just don't like knitting bottom up. Like, it's just not for me.
Okay, here was the other part that I think what I don't love about it is with the color changing yarn, I had a really hard time actually picking the right colors. So I had started with a pink color that was gonna go with it, and then it just felt too like funky. I don't know, like grandma's carpet. So I went with the beige, but now it feels like there's not that much contrast in it, and so all this work is kind of for naught.
Yeah, you don't really see it.
And yes, it is fun to like get to the next spin cycle.
Yeah,
row.
that really is the motivator because it's like different each row.
Up more.
Yeah.
But this is taking too long for a slip over.
Because it's mosaic knitting. So each row you're only knitting
like what if I just like make it like a cowl right now? I just like bind it off.
That would be funny.
No, I will finish it at some point. So I used the same yarns. The colors were, I actually don't remember this tan color. Oh, no, I'm like, what am I looking at? Oh, my color changing is called the Castle from Spincycle, and the Suri is Sage. Yeah.
Yeah. I
lost motivation. Bad.
I ended up with quite a bit extra of
the Suri?
Yeah, like I could make a whole nother one. And I ended up with like 130. No, not 130. A skein and a half of the Quince & Co. So I can't do math right now. It's like 80 grams. Anyways, so that's what I'm wearing. I do like the finished object. I feel like I should
just keep it in mind that it is kind of a task.
It was a lot. And I didn't like have the correct expectations for how much work it was going to be.
Yep.
So that's probably why I was like disappointed with the process of it. This also taught me I don't think I'm a process knitter. I'm a project knitter. I want the final project. That's why I knit something.
Yes.
I'm not here for the months and months of knitting on mosaic.
And we should not pick a pattern spur of like, oh, this yarn is on sale, so let's do this pattern. We didn't really look into it much.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't fall in love with it.
Yeah, I think that was our other issue.
But
anyways, what's your other finished object?
Oh, yes. I finished the scarf #1. It's actually the bandana by my favorite things knitwear. And I use Cardiff Cashmere Classic. And the color is called Funny. So great. It like is such a fun little project that takes like a day. And I used up the whole, just one skein and kind of just shortened the pattern so it's not maybe as wide. Mm-hmm. But I'll kind of show you how I like to style it. So I think I've seen a few videos of people like, I don't know how to style the mini scarves.
Yeah.
But I saw this where you take a ring, and rather than like trying to tie it and look nice, you just slide the ends through the ring. I mean, it's kind of like Boy Scouting.
I was just thinking that. I didn't want to spoil it for you, but I was like, that looks like a Boy Scout.
You know, with a cute gold ring. It's kind of fun.
When it's off to the side and not with a button-up shirt and a sash of badges.
It just makes it so much easier. Wow.
I was just like envisioning all the Boy Scout ceremonies we went to for our brother. Like, no, that's really cute.
Or also just like in your hair like this. It's kind of cute. I mean, it takes a little bit of work to like make sure you don't look like a grandma, but yeah. So, would highly recommend if you want to do a cashmere project. It's a kind of a fun way to go.
That's really cute.
Yes.
And very soft.
It's so soft. I'm tempted now. I'm like, should I do a whole sweater?
No.
Maybe? Maybe not the ears out. You know what? We're just not gonna wear it.
That's all right.
Yeah.
My next finished object we actually both made.
Yes.
And it is the Blossom Romper by
Maria Intensia.
Mine looks a lot bigger than hers because I blocked it more thoroughly and I accidentally used a bigger needle.
Yes.
So.
And the reason we made these.
Because we both have babies on the way.
It's so fun!
So now we get to make baby knits for our own babies.
Well, yeah.
Which is crazy. Oh, we were like, okay, we should make something cute and matching. We knit these up in Knitting for Olives, cotton and merino. This is, believe it or not, the newborn size.
I don't know what you did.
A newborn.
This looks more like a newborn.
This looks like a really chunky newborn. It'll fit them eventually, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I need to get buttons.
They'll grow into it.
I use the color Soft Mint.
And I use the color Dusty Blue Whale.
Which is very fortunate because Elisa found out her gender. I'm going to wait. So that's why mine's a little more neutral.
I knit 2 blue baby knits before we found out the gender. I just was like, it's going to be a boy. I know it. And thankfully I was right. I mean, girls can wear blue too, but it made for a really cute like announcement photo. And I don't think it would have been as cute an announcement photo if it was a girl. But anyways, I would have had to frantically knit something pink, you know.
Or you could have done a matching bow with it.
That's true. I would have figured out something, but no, everybody in my life knew it was a boy too. They're like, of course, obviously.
Yeah.
It's like, why do we all know? I don't know. We just knew. I liked this pattern. It was pretty easy to follow.
Yeah, she kind of showed
it had charts for like all of it, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, even like the knit back.
Yeah, for all the increases.
Which sometimes can be hard to follow if it's that much knit.
That's true.
Chart,
yeah. Another reason why mine might be bigger is because I didn't follow the instructions, which is going to be a recurring theme for this episode. I didn't want to seam it. So you're supposed to knit the front and back and then seam them. And I didn't want to do that. So I knit the front. I just knit like the front piece and the back piece. And then I joined it in the round. And then I split off when it slips for the armhole. I
mean, I kind of wish I did that too because when you're done with something and then you have to
seam it together.
Yeah, you're like, really?
It's worse than weaving in ends.
Yeah,
it truly is.
Yeah. And it's not even that much.
I was gonna say, I don't feel like my seaming is that like tidy. I don't feel like it's that clean. For this project, like I know sometimes seaming adds like structure and integrity to garments, and I didn't really feel like a little newborn baby onesie needed structure, you know? Anyways, it's such a cute little like
so cute
pattern motif.
Yeah. I feel like honestly if you kind of have a basic romper pattern and a lace pattern or a even cabling pattern that you liked from a different sweater, I think it would be pretty easy to incorporate
absolutely
into that. So this one, I don't know what kind of lace pattern this is called.
Looks like a little leaf.
Really pretty. Yeah, so that's also why we haven't had a most motivation to
do anything, knit anything,
edit videos, finish our...
post anything on Instagram. We just like fell off the face of the earth for 3 months.
Yeah.
So sorry about that. We were gonna film another podcast like a month ago, and we both were like, well, I haven't knit anything. I don't know what's gonna be nothing to show for it. And like, not for lack of time. I just was like, all I do is like sit on the couch and try to not feel bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we're feeling great.
Yes. I don't know where you're at, but...
in a couple days, almost. Second trimester,
True.
Yeah.
So we're 2 weeks, Elisa's 2 weeks behind me, which is wild.
Yeah.
So crazy. There's gonna be so many cute kid knitwear in the future. I have a lot of plans.
my Ravelry.
It is really
favorites
hard though
is
because I'm not
quickly
gonna
growing.
know the gender.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I also feel like I'm
how do
struggling
you...
because, okay, my husband was like a big baby. He was like 10.5 pounds.
Well, then good thing you made him.
That's kind of why I was like, I'd rather have it too big than too small, right? And granted, people say, they're like, that doesn't really have a sway on like how big your baby's gonna be. But we weren't like small babies either. And then they're gonna be born in May. So I'm like, dude, I don't wanna knit them a whole lot of summer things or like, I don't know. I've tried to listen to what other people say about baby knits and like, you know, a lot of them say just wait till they're like a year old and then, or like knit 1 year sweaters and things like that because they'll fit them for longer. Like a newborn little romper is gonna fit for like 2 weeks and then.
But again, it didn't take that much.
No, and it was more for the funs of it.
Yeah.
So
I have a few more projects I'm gonna do that I think I'll just do in cotton so that they're breathable.
Yeah.
If it is really hot in the summer and stuff like that. But
it's fun. It's fun to dream. And think about all the like, I'm like already planning like a whole group baby set for the winter and whatnot. You know?
Oh, me too.
So that.
Oh yeah,
I have
had your
more.
other.
I have one more finished object.
Your other baby knit.
It is my Moby sweater baby, which
is so
if you were just paying attention to what we were just saying about how the babies are going to be born in May, and this is the 0 to 3 month size in 100% wool, this baby's probably never going to wear this sweater. It was more just for the fun of it. I started knitting it the day I found out that I was pregnant.
You could get him a stuffed like teddy bear and put the sweater in it.
Put the sweater on the baby. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow.
I'm full of great ideas.
She really is. If you have been watching previously, you might remember that I also knit myself a Moby sweater in this exact color, and so I just used the leftover yarn that I had, which was conveniently just enough to make the smallest size. So this was a really fun little thing to knit, and I just love the Moby motif.
Yeah.
So this is the Moby Sweater Baby by Petite Knit. I used Pure Gint by Santa's Garn, Arctic Ice.
Arctic Ice.
And it literally took me 6 days. It was so fast for a whole little sweater.
Yeah.
But it's just so cute. Anyways, I also kind of laugh because like the neck hole proportions are different for babies because they've got these massive heads. So like the amount of stitches for the neck, I just remember thinking it was comical because it was like way more than I would think for a baby. So, but this was really fun to knit. Would definitely recommend a little baby sweater.
I think that's what I'm gonna do with most of my scraps now.
Yeah.
Just like see if there's enough to make a matching one for my child.
That would be so fun.
Okay, so with our whips, obviously I'm still working on my tessellated. Haven't actually touched it in like a month or two. So
like since the week that we cast it on, probably.
So that's mine. Why don't you share one of yours then?
Okay, I'll briefly go over one that I am officially putting on hold for the winter. This is my Juno Tee by Sari Nordlund. I made some decent progress since the last video on the body. This was like the perfect little throw it in your bag and knit on it because you don't have to think about just stocking it in the round. What else about it? Oh, this is knit in Tin Line by Santa's Garn in the color Petroleum, I believe. And I'm really excited about it, but I also was like, this isn't like, I'm not gonna wear this anytime soon because it's winter now. And so it's okay that I'm putting it on hold and maybe I'll get to it next summer, hopefully. I do really like the pattern. I love the lace work. I mean, it's
That's
like
so pretty.
It's just so beautiful.
I'm curious to hear like if you as a listener are one that often put things on hold and like pick them back up in another season. Because I feel like we tend to just like power through and like finish the one project we're working on. But maybe
I've never actually successfully put something on hold and like come back to it. So I'm really hoping I do come back to this because I really do like it.
Yeah.
But I just had no motivation to knit pure stockinette.
Yeah.
When it's getting colder. So
fair.
Anyways, I do want to come back to it though.
Yeah, that one's turning out really cute. Let's see. My other whip that I cast on because I couldn't take my tessellated on a trip. That would be too much.
Imagine that on an airplane.
No.
And there's like fluff everywhere and the person next to you is so annoyed as you're like dropping balls of yarn.
Yeah. So I was looking around, I'm like, what do I have that I could just like cast on and start a project? And I had this yarn. This, I think it's a merino, but it is a Manos del Uruguay, a Maria in the color poolside. So it's this like hand-dyed yarn from Uruguay. It's just really interesting, and I saw this yarn and I was like, I need to have it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. But then I just kind of decided I'm gonna make a hat. So I cast on the Musselborough Hat by Yosolda. Is that her name?
Yeah.
And this is how far I've got. It was fun to be working on because, yeah, you just start and then it doesn't matter what needle size you're doing, what size you want it, and then it's just like you adjust it from there. So it's a really fun pattern, but now I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's kind of ugly. I'm like, this looks like, and Noah kept telling me that. He's like, this looks so grandma. I'm like, no, it'll be cute. Just wait, I'll put like a little tag on it. And he's so right. So my thoughts are to maybe hold it with like a mohair to kind of make it more of a universal one color, not this craziness. But that's the only idea I have. So I'd love to hear what you say.
This is the episode of like brutal honesty, I guess.
Honestly, it's good to just realize that you're like, yeah, not every project is gonna be like,
yeah. Or maybe like it's just
these
not
panic,
the right
like
use.
I need a project to cast on.
Yeah.
Or this panic, like I love that yarn, I don't know what I'd use it for.
Right.
So, yes, if you have any ideas
You
for
could
a
make a cute
DK,
baby
color
sweater.
changing, just like too much. Obviously, I think it needs to be color worked maybe. Or yeah, I might try a mohair, just hold, like even this left over.
Yeah, that would be cute.
I might do a swatch of this and just see what that looks like. But I'm not opposed to it being in a hat form.
Yeah, just a little bit more cohesive.
Anyways.
They're pretty colors.
Yes.
And
so
it was fun because
that's
you were
that.
knitting it poolside.
It was. That's why I was like, it's perfect. I'm
It
going to go
was
sit by a
perfect.
pool and knit my poolside.
That's cute.
So this whip has been scrapped.
That's okay. Something more exciting that I made a lot of progress on and then put it down because I had no more interest in it. And I'll explain why. This is my, what is this?
Oh.
Stella quilt cushion.
Yeah.
It looks all funky because I've got it like wrapped up on a cable back here. It's difficult to display with the short rows that you do. So this is the Stella quilt cushion by Laura Penrose.
It's stunning.
I love it. I love this pattern. I love my yarn choice. I love the colors. I love all of it, except knitting up the back, which takes 8 million years. And I'm not gonna have enough yarn. I already know it.
Oh no.
What
What kind of yarn is it? Well, tell us what yarn is it.
yarn is it? I don't.
Didn't you get it at Dandelion?
I did. I don't think they have it in stock anymore. This is Santa's Garn Perfect. That's what it is.
Got it.
But it's in the color Marzipan. I think I can find something close. You know, like it's a superwash wool. I think they have a different superwash wool now, so that's why they don't have this one anymore. So I'll find something. I told it's for our younger sister. I started this months ago for her. She's asked me about it. Not every time I see her, but quite a few times. I was like, well, Abby, I'm running out of yarn. And she's like, just use a different yarn. So you don't understand, it's going to be like a different color. And she's like, okay.
It's the back.
On face. Exactly. She's like, it's the back. Who's going to see it? I'm like, I will know. I will go to your house and I will know that there's 2 different shades of yarn on the back of your pillow.
But for these yarns, I
used the Fiber MacGyver Merino DK. She had little 20-gram singles, and they worked out perfect. So I have like a little bit left of each. I haven't weighed them yet to see how much I have left of each one. But like, again, maybe they'd be perfect for like a stripe on a baby sweater, you know? Like, I'll find a use. I'll find a purpose. Yep. The back is, you can either knit it separate and seam up the whole thing. And I said, that doesn't sound like fun. Or you can do short rows. So you pick up, this is so extremely difficult to show without fear of dropping all my stitches.
Can I help with some?
I don't know. Okay, so I picked up all the stitches around this triangle, right?
Okay.
And then you just do short rows and you just keep adding 1 more stitch on each row to knit the diagonal. And then she has this fancy technique to that I used in these squares to like do decreases down and like pick up the stitches, then do decreases. But I never felt like I liked how clean it looked.
So how are you gonna get the pillow into it? Do you knit the pillow in, or is there gonna be like a hole in it?
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Oh.
I think you knit it in. Well, what I'm gonna do is I am going to do this technique for this first half, and then I'm just gonna do regular decreases and then seam down the other side because I think it'll look nicer. Because I couldn't quite get the other technique to look very clean. Granted, now that I'm looking at the front, I couldn't tell you which of these squares I did the technique on. So, like maybe I wouldn't even notice.
Probably not.
But I felt like it was kind of tedious. So I think seaming would be less tedious. Anyways, that's my Stella quilt cushion. I made a lot of progress on it, and then I was like, I'm gonna run out of yarn. I'm sad.
So
I'm gonna put it away, because if I don't knit on it, then I won't run out of yarn.
Yeah.
That was my logic.
Okay, now we're on to our fun projects.
These are the ones that have been stealing our attention.
We held off, and we were like, okay, we're gonna not cast these on until we work on these for a little bit longer. Then we had a cardigan cast-on party.
It was really fun.
It wasn't really a party.
We made a party of it.
We cast on our cardigans. So, this is my cardigan. I'm so excited.
I have not seen the progress on it.
Okay,
what a dream.
A little bit tricky to show, but I am making the porch cardigan by Ozetta. And in my most favorite color ever. So I've kind of made one armhole front side, and then they'll all get joined together and just work in the round, or not in the round, because it's a cardigan, but just work down the body. The yarns I'm using are, it's a Noro sock yarn, Silk Garden Sock Solo, in the color T80, which is Psyche, which we found in Denmark, and I just needed to have it. And then I was like, I need to pair it with something. What would be amazing? And MacGyver has this Suri, soft Suri silk in the color Blueness, which is so intense. Like, I've never seen anything like it. So this is gonna be kind of a statement, but also maybe a staple. Perfect. I don't know. I might wear it every day.
I could see you wearing it every day.
I know. And also, like, we both were like, we need to make cardigans because we're not going to fit in anything else. So let's just be wise. I am a little bit worried that it's going to be a little too big. I haven't really had that issue before. Everything I make is a little too small. So the gauge I made was too wide. So then I just kind of like did the math with the measurements. And I think for some reason, the medium seemed like it would actually be small, like too small. So I ended up going with the medium size, but it feels wrong to do medium when I know it's going to be bigger than a medium. And I normally would maybe do a small medium. So we'll see.
Who knows?
It might be nice to have a little oversized. I think I'm going to do like wood buttons with it. Either like the kind of like peg-looking ones.
Like the toggle ones?
The toggles, or maybe just round ones. It's so pretty. It has this like ribbing detail on the sleeve.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Which is such a simple little thing to add. Like, it's not that difficult to do, but I'm loving it. She is a great pattern writer, so would highly recommend. But yeah, I've been loving knitting this. That's why I haven't touched my other two.
Yeah, and it is like such a pretty color. And you also, I think both of those yarns are ones that like you thought about for like a whole day and then we came back for.
Oh yeah.
Like the Noro yarn, we didn't get right away. We like circled back to the store because you're like, no, I need that. And then the Blueness, you thought about that for like weeks.
Yes, and then I'm like, what pattern? Would be amazing. That she uses a lot of Noro in her patterns. I feel like so.
I agree. It feels fitting.
Feels good. Yes.
Okay, now for my cardigan, you guys. I am very excited about this pattern. This is the Artisane Cardigan by Santa's Design, and I don't know how I made it this far so fast, but it's just so fun. It's just there's just so many fun things to do. So you may remember when we were in Denmark, I got the pattern booklet for this because Santa's Garden Patterns are notoriously difficult to track down. And they only are in these booklets, mostly only in Europe.
Why? I don't know.
I don't know, because I want to knit all these Santa's Garden
Because they want to torture us.
Anyways, so we found the booklet, and I was elated. The only issue is that it's not in English. We were in Denmark. It's not in Danish. It's in Norwegian, which also makes sense because Santa's Garden is a Norwegian like designer and like yarn brand. So I went back in the store and was like, do you by chance have it in English? And they're like, no. Cool. I'll just Google Translate the whole thing. So that's what I've been doing, and it's been pretty successful. I mean, like, I just love it. But as you can see,
so pretty.
That's all Norwegian. And we went to Norwegian folk camp as children. Wouldn't recommend it, actually. But I didn't learn a lot of Norwegian. Like, I can't read it. I don't remember. But yeah, it's a great little booklet. It's mostly like charts anyways. And it's a lot of like, I don't know, figure it out. You know, like it's a cardigan. What could go wrong, right? So
you don't make it that easy on yourself either.
And I was like, okay, the construction of this pattern is a little bit funky. You might be like, Elisa, that doesn't look like funky cardigan construction. That's because I'm not following the pattern for the construction because I didn't want to do it that way. I'd seen somebody else on Ravelry do it, and I was like, okay, I can do that. I've knit enough sweaters. I can figure it out. So what you're supposed to do is knit the entire back and then stop before you get to the ribbing. And then like pick up the stitches for the front panels and just knit them until you get to the ribbing on both sides. And then I think you seam them together and then knit the ribbing, or then you knit the ribbing all, like you join them together to knit the ribbing.
Yeah.
And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Now that I'm knitting it, I think I realize why. It's because it's kind of hard to keep track of the two different like patterns on the panels in the front when you're knitting so many stitches. Like one row takes forever, and as opposed to like, you could just keep track of the cable patterns
just do the one.
and just do the one all the way down to the bottom.
Right.
So that makes sense, but I don't think that it's too difficult for me. I think I'll be fine.
We do everything we can to avoid seaming.
I hate seaming.
Yeah.
So we're not seaming. I knit till like I added the increases for the underarm and then stopped, and then I picked up my stitches just like I would for any other drop shoulder pattern, and then knit till that same point and then just joined in the round, or joined in the flat.
Join the body.
Join for the body. Yeah, that's what it is.
It's gorgeous. I love that yarn combo.
This yarn combo. That was a great. She's good. This is Biche Bouche Le Lamb's Wool, like the regular DK weight one. And this is the color medium gray beige. And then this is also Biche Bouche. It's their Le Petite Silk and Mohair. And this is in the color Hay. And I think
it gives it like this beautiful sparkle almost.
Yeah. Because you can see the little silk bits.
Yeah, because the silk looks like golden thread.
Mm-hmm. I love it. It is so soft.
Wow.
I also feel like it might end up kind of big. I'm knitting the smallest size, but the smallest size was like 115 centimeter bust. And there's no instruction for how much ease it's supposed to have. So who really knows? But I was like, well, I'll just knit that one and hope for the best. But I think it's going to be really cute. It
looks like it's all right.
Yeah, but I think when you add the sleeves,
yeah,
it'll be totally fine. It'll work out, and I will wear it all the time. The right side is this like chevron panel that you create with just knits and purls. And I will admit, this one was kind of hard to keep track of at first. Like, it's not very intuitive at first. I do have to think about like what each stitch is doing, especially as I'm increasing for the V-neck. Like, so what's that gonna be then? Knit purl? I don't know. So I do have to look at the chart for that. And then this side is just some like huge cables, which I've never done cables this wide before. And so I am actually using a cable needle.
Okay, how many stitches do you have to pass over when you do that?
It's a 12 stitch cable, so there's 6.
Okay.
And I've never done that many. I don't know why this third cable looks so funky. I really hope I didn't mess up. I can't figure out, like, it doesn't lay flat. I'm hoping it just blocks out. I don't know what happened. I was knitting at night, and that's mistake number 1. But anyways, the back is just a double seed stitch all the way down. And then I think the sleeves are also double seed stitch. I don't even know. I haven't looked ahead. It has like a really thick button band. It's going to be really cute. This has been like on my wish list for 9 months, like a long time. I just think it's such a beautiful pattern. So
yep,
we'll stop gushing about our cardigans now.
Yeah, I think those would be fun to have done for Christmas. Would be fun.
Me too.
Although
That's kind of my goal
my
in the back of my
Christmas
mind.
sweater. That red one.
Oh, I
feel
don't
like
have a Christmas sweater.
For Christmas, though, I want to talk about any Christmas knitting gift plans you had ideas, or if you were going to do any. So I'm hoping to make some mittens. Elisa made mittens last year. I was like, oh, such a great idea.
It was. I never want to make mittens again, though.
Well, yeah. I'm only going to make, hopefully, 2 pairs.
And I made 5 pairs. That was too many.
That's way too
And
many.
they turned out really sweet. And
Maybe
it was
I'll
for my
make 2
in-laws,
and
and
then one for me.
I take that back. I would gladly knit mittens again for my in-laws if they asked me for them. But wow, you have to make 2 mittens for each. It was like...
So I'm trying to, help myself out. I'm hoping to use Coast by Sisterknit, so that's like a bulky weight yarn. And I think I'm going to do the basic favorite mittens by Suzanne Mueller. They seem to be a hit for most people. So yeah, that's hopefully what I'm going to do. Then another plan that I'm going to go get yarn for today, I'm going to make this kimono jumpsuit for my baby. It's by Florence Merlin. And I wanted to share this because I already bought the pattern. I was like, great, I'm going to do it. And then I read all of the people's reviews, and they're like, anyways, it's like all these pieces, and then you seam them together, and it's like bottom up, and like all these people. The pattern is not great, to be honest. Like it's a lot. So, but I already bought it, and I'm determined. So I'm actually thinking of making a chart for the pattern in how to make it in the round. I don't know.
We will do anything to not.
And then I will put that on my Ravelry for anyone else that wants to make something like that. Because people were like, there's nothing else like this.
Yeah. It's a cute little thing.
Yeah. So it's like a jumpsuit. So sleeves and pants. And then you kind of tie it.
Carl's really going crazy.
kind of making a nest over there in the corner. I don't know if we can even. Can you see up there? What are you doing, buddy? You digging a hole?
Gonna dig a hole in the couch.
Carl, lay down. Lay down. Just lay down. He will never stop. So I'm determined. I won't let it stop me, but just figured I'd let you guys know that I'm gonna endure that. And if anyone wants to make a little tied jumpsuit thing for a baby.
That'll be cute.
Yep.
I think, maybe I do have. There was one pattern that my sister-in-law was like, I would love this little baby sweater. And I bought the yarn for it months ago and have not knit it yet. So that might be a cute little like Christmas gift for our niece. That'd be really sweet. But it's a knitting for olive pattern, and they're like their child ones only come in like the youngest is like a year, which makes sense because it's a child pattern, not a baby pattern. And she's currently like 2.5 months. So, but she's kind of tall. She's got long arms. Like she'll fit into it eventually. And then I was really looking at, there's this cute little like lovey pattern that was like a koala. And there was another one too by Arctic Kid Knits. And I think I bought that pattern already too, because I was like, I want to make that
those are
for
cute.
my baby. Otherwise, I have not really thought about doing any Christmas gift knitting. I don't really like the pressure of it.
It's true.
It's stressful, and there's not enough time. We're creeping up too close to get much of anything done in my book. So, but I think a couple little pairs of mittens in like that bulky weight yarn will be manageable.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
Well, that is all for this episode. If you have anything you want to comment on, feel free to leave comments down below off of anything we were needing advice on, or if you can
All of
relate
the
on
things that
anything,
were-
or if you're also expecting a baby.
Or if you have any advice about baby knits, if you're like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
don't even bother with X, Y, and Z, that's helpful for us to know.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what a baby's gonna like, or what will be effective or useful.
But feel free to follow us on Instagram for anything a little more real time. Follow our Ravelries and subscribe if you want to watch our videos in the future. So thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye.